Spotlight on Smooth FM. Keeping it real with Tess.
Good afternoon. It is time for another Spotlight interview, and this afternoon we have a couple joining us, Marsha and Charlie, and I think we're in store for something really exciting. But then I say that to every interview, and I think, you know what, we always have a good time. But let me tell you a little bit about what you're in store for today. Meet Charlie Doran, who has lived and worked in Aberdeen for around 30 years. Until recently, he has always worked in the oil and gas industry, whilst occasionally renovating properties with his wife. However, they haven't renovated a property now for a few years due to the instability of both the oil and housing markets. Charlie loves his cars, especially classic cars, and his dream car one day would have to be the E-Type Jaguar to add to his collection. Marsha has lived in Aberdeen for 23 years. She studied maths at university and came to Aberdeen to do her master's in investment management. She initially worked in oil and gas as a business analyst. This wasn't her dream, but her brain didn't stop working. She trained as a tennis coach, which matched her love for the sport, and she also ran a successful eBay shop. After a return to college in 2017, awesome Marsha, to study advertising and PR, she found her passion, and she founded Eco Cup Ads early in 2018, which produces 100% biodegradable branded cups for clients, which are used and distributed for marketing and advertising. And just 5 weeks ago, together with Charlie, her husband, they launched FROGS, which is a directory website which connects students and trainers together. It's a one-stop shop for learning and education. And they say if you can teach it, they feature it. So, without further ado, welcome you guys.
Thank you, Tess. Thank you for having us on today.
It's really fun to always read the introductions to the audience. I try and make it exciting because, we want them to stay in and find out more about what you guys have been up to. So tell us a little bit about FROGS. How did that idea come about?
Well, I'll start. Yep. So FROGS is, as you said, it's a directory website. It's designed to simplify the process for finding a tutor, in that it features every industry, every profession that has teaching within it, not just school education. It features everything from preschool gymnastics, first aid trainers, life coaches, all the way through to HSC trainers. So that is the beauty of it. It will simplify the process for finding a tutor, and also it offers a great platform for tutors to advertise what they're offering. So this came about because we were having a bit of a struggle finding a tutor ourselves. We were looking for an English tutor for our daughter, as she was up to sitting her national fives, a piano tutor for our son, and also our oldest son was looking at universities and college for getting into the next stage as he was leaving school. And we found this incredibly confusing. We're going from site to site and just losing track of what tutors we found, which ones we liked, which ones we weren't sure of, which ones we wanted to close in the wrong tab, which ones we wanted to follow up on, and it just frustrated us incredibly.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, this is education. Why isn't it on one site? And then that was kind of the light bulb moment. It's like, okay, let's create a site that does this for us. That is a short introduction to how it's started.
Yeah. From having had a look at the site already and had the experience of actually uploading my own services and products on there, it's so exciting to be able to go to one place. And what I love, like you said, is that it's not just for kids, and it's not just for sort of tertiary or primary school education support. It's all kinds of learning, which is amazing. And the site's very easy to use, which I think is the first step you want to achieve, because when it becomes difficult, people go away.
Yeah, it's important that it was user-friendly. It is paramount importance.
So did COVID
experience.
Yeah, so did COVID-19, when that arrived, I imagine you'd already been deeply involved in the development of the site, and you kind of thought, oh my goodness, now what? Did it actually help things? Did you speed things up, or did you have a panic? What happened?
All of the above.
And then some. We've been trying to get this site launched for quite a long time. And unfortunately, where it was being developed and the developers, they were struggling to pull it together. So it's been coming slowly, and much slower than what we wanted. It should have been launched before COVID came on the scene. As you know, COVID's been around for a while now, and we are just 5 weeks into being live.
Yeah, that's amazing.
We kind of tried to push for a quick launch, but you don't want to necessarily do that if it's not going to work properly.
No.
So we're working really closely, really intensively with the developers to ensure the functionality for tutors registering was going to be as easy as possible. And I feel like we've achieved that now, and now we can continue to progress on the rest of the development of the website, because there's so many more things we want to add to it. It's already got a few unique features. There's a university and college page, so that features every single uni college within the UK. And I thought that was a valuable resource, simply because our son was going from page to page, site to site, and it was like, well, what course did you like? And it was like, well, I like that one. What uni was that at? I forgot.
Yeah, typical team.
Typical team.
Yeah.
So that's obviously learning and education, so we're featuring that. Essentially free for the universities, but it just simplifies the process for a student going to have a look at the website. They can go straight there, see the website. They can also message the admissions office directly from there if there is something of interest. So that saves them entering so many website addresses. It's got a careers and training page. So any companies that are offering apprenticeship programs or training development, they can showcase them on there. And it's got an inspire me function. So holding that inspire me function.
Yeah.
The inspire me function it's still under development. With the site being so new, we're still under beta testing. But basically, what happens is there's around about 10 questions for a person as a student to put what their interests are, the professional degree, or something active, and something they can study either online or join a classroom. And depending on how they fill that profile out, will then match out a teacher or a tutor or a training company will fill out their profile. And then they have the mileage distance where they can say the 5-mile radius or 15-mile radius, and if they all match, then it will propose several courses that match the criteria of the student. So that's how that one works.
Wow. Nobody's taken that one into schools. So I'm thinking on the lines of school leavers, S4, 5, 6, not sure what they want to study, not sure what they want to do, and hopefully it'll just give them a bit of an insight into which direction to go in the future.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking mums and dads bored on a Sunday rainy afternoon, and they
Yeah.
can really just go, what ticks my boxes. So,
I think that's really, really exciting, because I know in my line of work, one of the things I offer is like personality profiling, which is helping people find out what their strengths and weaknesses are, what their characteristics are like as people, and how they handle relationships and all those kinds of things. So something like what you're doing is really helpful to somebody when they're starting with a blank canvas sometimes.
Absolutely.
You know in your head what you'd like, but you don't really know how to go about saying, okay, that's what I want. And sometimes what's in your head doesn't actually look like a complete package out there. So you have to go and explore,
Yes.
Nothing is a straight line, right?
Oh gosh, definitely
Yeah.
not. So if it helps a little bit or helps one person, then that's
So what's your challenge right now? I would imagine you've got two sets of clientele, really. You've got the clients that actually offer a service to a sort of a student, and then you've got all the students you want to have come and have a look. Students being aged, any age, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think to start with, at the moment, our main aim, if you like, is to build the directory and the database up. So it's getting as many tutors, teachers, trainers, coaches, and training companies on there and it's all for free. So it's a real bonus for anybody who wants to showcase themselves.
Yeah.
There's various options to promote yourself as well. You put your photograph up, but also there's a small video clip which is optional, but you can put a 30-second or a minute video to show what you do and what you way you teach. So that's there as well. But it is really build up the database, and then the students will start coming in. And some have started to follow already. It's early days for the students.
Yeah, that's really interesting that you say some start to follow, because they are registering. Students are registering,
Really?
and we're not marketing to them at all. So they are seeing something that's catching their eye, which is positive.
Well, I think it's really interesting. Yeah, for us as business owners who do train people and do help people on all levels to understand that there is a demand, there is a desperate demand for the service that you are providing. Without plugging you guys, I mean, it is, education is such a vital part to helping people go out in the world and create amazing things and change the course of history or solve problems and all that. And if we don't get access to the right education, we cannot fulfill our life's purpose.
You can't go forward. Yeah.
So I think it's pretty amazing. So yeah, it's how long did it take you? I mean, I know, Marsha, you said there were times you just wanted to pull your hair out.
Yeah.
So,
you did, didn't you?
how long ago was this idea actually birthed, so to speak? And how did it come about? Was it just over a drink one evening? Were you on the tennis court? Were you driving home from work, Charlie, and you two were chatting on the phone and you just said, wow, what happened?
It was literally during that frustrating tutor search that
Really?
it came out. So this would have been last April, Easter, last year, March, April, when we started this look, because I guess it was like, panic exam time, we need to get organised, kind of thing. So maybe it was February then.
I was thinking March.
She must have got her prelims, and we were like, we need a tutor.
Yeah.
So that would have been it, yes. And she found a website company that we thought we were happy with to develop the website, and they commenced work sort of March. And there's several issues, as you know. I've been really stressed with it all. But 14 months later, we were delighted to press the go launch button. And as I said earlier, there's still stuff that we're going to do to it, still add into it, we're still developing it and upgrading it, and ensuring everything works as swiftly as possible.
We still keep getting new ideas as well, don't we? So they've got to be brought forward and developed as well. But the main thing is now that it's live, and we're trying to build on it. But any ideas we have at the moment, we're obviously jotting them down and trying not to upset the site now that it's live. So it's a balancing act almost. We can't break it, but we do need to further develop it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Amazing.
It's a hard labour.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can well imagine. And I think when it's technical like that, it's about that whole communication thing. When you're developing something, it's your vision, and it's about getting that message across, and communication becomes key.
Yes.
But what a brilliant name. I love the name. I'm a big fan of FROGS. I love FROGS. Okay. And when you told me the name, I thought, oh, wow. But now just tell us, how did you come up with that? Because it doesn't sound like the kind of name you would put to a site that relates to education. So,
we didn't. Well, I didn't want anything to do with learning or teach or tutor or education, as you say. I wanted it to be kind of standalone. And even though I say I got the name, I didn't really get the name. So we can really give credit to our children again. Our youngest was doing a project on the Amazon forest, and he chose to research banana frog. And the information he came out with was educational for us, very much so. Stuff we didn't know, but it was great. And as a consequence, they started calling each other banana frog. The kids did, and it kind of stuck. It literally just stuck. So it wasn't you are an idiot. It was you are a banana frog.
Such a banana frog.
Or something like that. So it was kind of a natural name for us to have the business. And I guess
standalone.
Yeah,
bananas are so good for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
This
It's
like
like
must be so good for you.
Yeah.
You could argue that, yeah.
Tennis players. How many tennis players do you see munching a banana midway through the fourth set or third set? Yeah.
Yeah, oh gosh, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
Good for
What
energy.
energy, brain food, muscle food, everything. Yeah. So that's amazing. So I imagine what happens now to the other businesses that you run as you develop this? Is there space for everything, or is this just becoming the main focus going forward?
We were actually just talking about this yesterday, and there's definitely space for everything. Obviously, the branded coffee cups took a hit with COVID-19's impact,
Yeah.
which is not surprising. All the coffee shops were closed, but in the last 2-3 weeks, there's definitely been green shoots of everything coming back to normal. We've had a few cup orders, so in my head, there's no reason why I can't operate both businesses. I've got Charlie to support me as well, so definitely between us, we can just
Deliveries.
drive everything through, drive it forwards, and just keep developing.
I think it's quite amazing because Banana Frogs came out of the Amazon, so to speak, even though it was a project related to education. And your cups tend to be for every 1,000 cups, is it?
That's right. Well, remember.
So it's
Also in the Amazon.
yeah, so it all just fits quite beautifully together. I mean, did you realize that? Did you plan? Was that just?
I didn't even realise that.
Oh, didn't you? You see, it's like this all fits, and you know, you're helping with the environment, you're feeding brains, you're helping make it easier for people. So I think it's pretty amazing. So do you two get on that well as a married couple who work so closely together? What's the challenges there? Or should we just skip that question?
Yeah. I think everybody's in the same boat. COVID has made everything so difficult because you try not to get under each other's feet all day, and that is hard.
Yeah.
But prior to that, we used to renovate houses together. We do a lot, so much together. It really was just so much together.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just a natural thing for you guys. You're not trying to make something. You know, you've got experience in this area of, you know, working together, raising a family together, being your own individual people together. Because I guess that's really important as well.
Yeah, it's very important, isn't it?
Wow.
And obviously that's been challenging through COVID to just be your own person, but just got to hang in there for the
Listen,
We'll come out of it, won't we? Everybody's going to come out of it. We just have to follow the rules and just, you can't change anything about it. Just go accept what it is.
But it is pretty amazing to be interviewing you two right now, like literally 4 months into lockdown, and you are still happy, smiling, you know. So it's a good sign. There's hope for so many couples out there who are probably going.
I have my makeup on to hide my bruises.
What do you see as the next obvious step? Is there a particular field or industry that you really want to shout out to come and sign up? Now, I know you say it's for any form of education, but are there areas that you think people aren't really thinking about? Businesses that could sign up with you guys?
This is yours.
I would really say, is there anybody out there that teaches something that is very unusual? So the site is coming along. As you know, it's launched in Aberdeen, and we are looking to go UK-wide. So personally, I'm looking for some diversity at the moment. We've got people that have come with like silversmiths. You can have a course now and make your own wedding rings, which is amazing. I didn't know you could do that. And then we've got a dry cleaning company. Again, it's amazing. It's like we've never thought about the course for dry cleaning. So there's some really strange courses coming out. But to me, I just think that the key is it's not just about the training companies, because everybody thinks that. And then it's not just about the students and the colleges and universities. Everybody thinks that. So for me, it's like it's the hobbies. You know, you need some mum and dad are exhausted. You just need some great time, and what could that be? And that could be so many different things.
Sewing,
Not myself personally sewing, but
origami
there is a place
teacher.
for it.
You know, just
Yeah.
the really weird and wonderful and random things that you'd never think about.
And what other question that comes up into my mind is, do these people who sign up have to have a online program, or is this a combination of different types of services? So people can work through Zoom and do lessons, or they can have a proper program, or it could be people in your area that once COVID is over, you'll be able to go and join their classes. So it's a combination.
It is, and that's the beauty of things, because with a course like maths, you can either teach that in the classroom or in somebody's home or Zoom or Skype now. Up until recently, they probably just stuck with the first two concepts of in the classroom or somebody's house, but the world's opening up and there's so many ways to learn, and there's so many things you can learn. So I'm just excited about the whole site of things.
And when the tutor registers, they have the option to specify exactly how they want to teach. So whether it's video learning, e-learning, one-to-ones or groups, they can specify that on their profile, and then that will be advertised to the student, so the student knows exactly how that tutor operates. So if you're looking for a one-to-one and they don't do it, probably not the tutor for you, but there will be another tutor that can offer that. So it's trying to make it clear for the tutor to show what they're offering, and also clear for the student to see
Options.
get what they want.
Yeah. Wow, that's pretty amazing. And I think in this day and age where we're full of information, there's so much stuff out there. What we're needing more than anything else is people to help us apply all this information into practice. And that's what your site invariably is offering. Suddenly people have this place where they can go and find people who will help them absorb knowledge.
Basically,
Simple way of
that's it
putting
in a
it.
nutshell.
Exactly that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So tell me something. What were you two up to in your lives when you were, okay, you said teenagers because you can't remember as far back as 6 years old, Charlie. So
Marsha.
as a young person, what games were you playing? What were you up to? What were your interests? Tell us a little bit about the early, before you became mature and business developers.
I'm still waiting to become a mature business developer. However, more recently, when I was a little bit younger, I used to make a lot of airfix models, and I was always interested in making things and building things and repairing things. And that was a hobby that I did, where it got to the stage as a young guy. Some of my friends used to bring me their model kits, and I would make them for them, and then it's like, well, there you go, you can give me those sweets or this, and I'll take those. And that happened for a while, and then I kind of got involved into, if you like, it was like horse riding and the farm kind of life. And as a teenager, that took over, and that's the route I went down. So it was a lot of horse riding, breaking, training, that kind of thing. So I always had horses in our hides up until about 10, 11 years ago, and then obviously I've got that little bit older now. And the children just take too much more time, that we had to make some changes.
Yeah. Wow, interesting. And for you, Marsha, what was it like for you as a young girl? What were you up to and into?
I'm really sad, but I was all about learning and education. It's just awful.
No?
Correlates with my website perfectly, but I had older brothers and sisters, and when they were kind of doing their A-levels, because I grew up in England, I'd be studying alongside them, and I'd be like drawing whatever they're drawing and trying to memorize the skeleton or the body parts. And I mean, I'm only like 6 or 7, and I'm trying to be better than them. You know, it's a bit weird, but I just love reading. I love learning even at a young age, and it's just kind of never really left me. So now I still enjoy learning.
Well, I think that's amazing, because we're all different. So I think that's the thing that I find the most incredible. No two people are alike. And I'm so curious to know what sort of sparks what we actually end up doing with our life. It starts from that early stage. And look at what you're doing now. You've finally kind of landed in your thing. Yeah. But it's been an ongoing thing all the time.
Yeah, when you look back, definitely.
Always done something.
Perfect. transition to it, really.
Yeah.
It
And
really
tennis was what, forced upon you initially because you had to have a balance, or you just were in love with perfecting the game of tennis?
I think I very, very sadly fell in love with Boris Becker, which is really embarrassing because I've just announced that live. But that is another story.
I told Marsha I'm a Boris Becker lookalike.
But once I got over that, I realised, one, he's not actually that good looking. But two, I love tennis, and it's quite a hard sport because you've got the movement, you've got the coordination, you've got the mental side, and then you've got the actual execution of the shot. And for me, that was like perfect challenge. Something that I didn't pick up straight away. So something I've had to force myself to learn if I really wanted to enjoy it and play well.
Fantastic. That is really amazing. And your kids, you've got 3. How are they feeling about this new website? Are they all for it? Do they think it's the best thing ever? Why didn't you think of this sooner? Or are they going, oh no, more learning?
Those answers.
Are we ever going to have some fun? I know you have lots of fun. So, but how have they taken it on, and what are they saying about it?
Well, the youngest wants to go on and teach origami.
Okay.
Which is,
He's 11.
He's really creative, so he's 11. Our daughter is actually really involved in it, and she's doing a lot of the social media. She's very good at media anyway, because that was her course at college, and she's done creative digital media as well while at school. So she's really beneficial to the website. She's very creative. So she's just at the moment finishing our first Banana Frogs magazine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
Look out for that popping up soon.
Yeah.
So she's really into it, isn't she?
She really enjoys it.
She's really helpful with it. And she comes up with ideas.
Oh, that's nice.
Great. And our oldest goes, oh my God, that's good. That's about as much as you're going to get from him.
So that is a good sign from Ty.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's really positive. But all in all, they're behind us, that's for sure.
Well, that's great, because I think, I know sometimes with my kids, because I'm a coach, it's like, oh, don't come coaching me, Mom, But, that's just my issues with my, keen to help, because I can just see the benefits, but
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's really exciting. And, I think it's really important for people to know about this site, because Marsha, like you and Charlie as well, I think there's nothing more exciting than learning, actually. A bit of a sad one myself, but life is about constantly improving. We don't just stop learning when we go to after school. We're constantly learning life skills. We're having to make new choices all the time. We know careers are changing. We know people are having to reinvent themselves and re-look at how to repurpose their skill set and perhaps have to add to it. So a site like yours is just potentially going to help so many people make an easier way forward. So I really urge anybody who is listening to share this interview everywhere across the UK so that we can get as many of the best coaches, trainers, business people on the site so that all your children and you yourself can come and get a fantastic education. How's that?
Thank you.
Great.
Thank you so much.
I love your idea, and I think you're very brave for having bitten off such a massive project.
It's a huge one.
Yeah. But I think the benefits that you're going to give to everybody is remarkable. So thank you so much for being so awesome.
No.
Thanks for the advice and thank you for the kind words.
Yeah, thank you.
Pleasure. And we'll have to have you back at some point so you can give us an update if we can grab you, because you're going to be really busy, I would imagine. So I just want to wish you all the best. And is there anything else you want to say out there to anybody who's listening in? Any words of advice?
You go first.
Just want to say, get on Banana Frogs. If you want to find a course, go for it. If you want to advertise yourself, go for it. It's perfectly acceptable to have the weird and wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
Don't think that your course is not valid, because it is. Why do you know somebody wouldn't be looking for that? So don't hesitate. If you've got any issues, contact us. I'm sure Tess has got our socials.
Yep.
Like us on Facebook and Insta and LinkedIn and also Twitter.
And I
Fantastic.
would probably just add to that that although it's an educational site, don't force yourself down to the tunnel of it's just education, because education is so wide. We could also have examples of like a sailing course or other things. So it's also the hobby side of things as well.
Yeah.
Yes,
Learn to go
definitely.
sailing, learn to go archery, or there's many things you can do. It's still a learning, but it's different things. Just broaden your horizons
Not just
and go
schools.
for it.
Fantastic. Well, Charlie, thank you for that, because I always go down the school route, and maybe that's where we need you very much to just remind us that there's actually a lot of fun things and hobbies and creative stuff, but sometimes we also need to learn about how to do those things to give us the confidence to go out and do it more. So it's been delightful speaking to you both this afternoon, and I hope it just goes from strength to strength.
Oh, thank
Thank
you
you
so
very
much,
much.
Tess. Really enjoyed
And-
listening.
Pleasure. And so if anybody is interested, all the information on how you can get hold of Banana Frogs will be in the body of this interview. And I suggest don't hesitate, just get right in there and get your products out there so that you can start helping people learn the skills that you have to offer. So we'll be back next week with another interesting interview. I'm not sure it'll be another couple because they are unique, special, and unfortunately rare. But guys, Charlie, Marsha, thank you so much for being with us today. And we'll have you back in a year's time and we'll see how it's going on. Okay? Take care. And we'll see you soon.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.